In Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics made one thing very clear, that they're by far the best team in the NBA. They may not have the best player in any given series, but what they do have is a better overall team. Just like Game 2, Dallas were hot out of the gate, as here Kyrie gets into the paint and uses his right hand to finish, which was something he was unable to do in the first 2 games in Boston. Then it's Luka stepping back for 3, and then after a Celtics turnover, it's Derrick Jones Jr. who scoops it up and finishes for 2. Dallas came out like a house on fire, but for Boston, it was Al Horford who steadied the ship, scoring the first 5 points and picking up a block. In Game 3, Dallas made a clear switch in the game plan, electing not to settle for as many 3-point jump shots. As here, Luka bullies Holiday for 2, and then on an inbounds, Kyrie catches, fakes the putback, and then finishes around Derek White. Then on the break, PJ Washington channels his inner point guard with an alley-oop to Daniel Gafford for 2 more, giving Dallas their largest lead of the NBA Finals so far. Here, Luka goes one-on-one with Tatum, blowing by for 2. Before the game, Luka had to get a pain-killing jab in his rib due to the chest injury that he suffered in Game 1. Here, the Mavs finally get the switch with Kyrie on Horford, and Al actually plays great defense, but that's just better offense, man. Then Luka goes at Tatum again, creating enough room for a crossover to score 2 more. It seemed like everything was falling for Dallas in the opening 6 minutes, as here Derek Lively draws the foul and 1, extending the Maverick lead out to 13 points. However, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Dallas, as there were some early signs that this lead wouldn't last very long. Here, instead of getting Horford in the pick and roll, Dallas elect to switch Jaylen Brown with Jason Tatum on Luka. This is terrible coaching, as not only is Tatum just as good of a wing defender as Brown, but also without Horford on the floor having to play more minutes, he is a mismatch for Luka, as this should absolutely never happen. Instead, Tatum plays great defense on Luka, forcing him into a tough step-back 3, which he misses. Dallas kept doing this though, as this time Xavier Tillman is on the floor, but again they decide to switch Brown with Tatum, as JT forces Luka into another miss. Here, just to show you that Jason Tatum is capable at guarding Luka, on an island he forces Luka into another miss. Once the Mavericks began to stutter on offense, here comes the Celtics. As here, Tatum rises up over Jaden Hardy for 3, but the Mavericks had more punches to throw yet, as Kyrie pulls up on a 27-footer and cashes it in. For Boston, playing without Porzingis wasn't as bad as advertised, as Horford and Tillman were great, as here Xavier Tillman forces Hardy into a miss, which gets the Celtics out on the break, and with a solid take by Jaylen Brown, he scores his first bucket of the game. Tatum came out more than confident in the first quarter, as here Washington gives him just enough separation to knock down the triple. Then Dallas subs in Maxi Kleber, and yes, I get he's Luka's friend, but come on man, he's playing with an injured shoulder which has affected his shooting, and he's not a good defender. And here he gets his shot blocked and then fumbles the ball out of bounds. He's virtually only out there because he has shot the ball well in the past, and he's bigger. The bench was supposed to be a plus for the Mavericks, not the Celtics, but off the bench for Boston came Sam Hauser, who knocked down his first 3 triples of the game and came up with some big defensive stops on Luka and Kyrie. Here the Celtics have a miscommunication on defense, as Brown and Horford can't decide on their coverage, leading to a Dante Exum slam. Then back the other way, it's Sam Hauser who knocks down a trailer 3 once Tatum draws multiple defenders. Then to finish the term, Dallas somehow lose sight of Jason Tatum for some room service, as the Celtics cut a 13-point lead down to just 1 point in a single quarter of action, as yet again the Mavs hand another early lead away in this series. Then to start the second quarter, neither team scores in the first 2 minutes, but here Jaylen Brown exploits Luka's terrible defense, as he waits until Luka's looking the other way and then cuts hard to the paint for a wide open layup. Then it was Kyrie Irving, who first gets the bounce on this tough finish and then connects on a triple over the smaller Peyton Pritchard. Boston fans were sure happy to see this, as Tatum walks into a 3 which he splashes in. Irving then makes another good play, creating enough separation for the dump-off pass to Gafford for the jam. But then again, it's Jason Tatum with this tough Eurostep move for 2 more. In the first half, Jason Tatum really set the tone for Boston offensively, as he looked more assertive and confident with his moves, piling on a 20-point first half. But before the half, it was Kyrie Irving, first making this tough step-back 3 over Hauser, and then making an even tougher step-back 3 over Drew Holiday. But in the meantime, Sam Hauser kept the Celtics attached. As credit to the Celtics, they've been able to make these timely shots all postseason long. Then the hustle of Drew Holiday was on full display, grabbing the offensive rebound on the Tatum miss, and then finding the wide-open Al Horford. And once he misses the 3, Holiday grabs another offensive rebound and then puts it back up and in. Then Dallas finally get a Horford-Luka switch, as he gets an easy mid-range shot. Then Drew makes another great hustle play, stripping PJ Washington, leading to a 2-on-1 fast break for 2 more points for Jason Tatum. The third quarter was a complete catastrophe start to finish for the Dallas Mavericks, as Boston opened the third term going 6 for 6 from the field. Here, the Mavericks simply don't apply enough pressure to Holiday and Tatum on these threes, and they make them both. Then Luka makes a play that will prove to be costly later, as after he misses this point-blank floater, he fouls Derrick White 94 feet away from the basket. It's crazy to think that a silly foul like this could be the difference in the Mavericks staying alive and having a chance to compete for a championship. The defense of Derrick White is still underrated, as here he makes a ridiculous block on Tim Hardaway Jr. Then Xavier Tillman, who was great off the bench for Boston, forces Irving into a miss with a late contest, and then does the same on Luka moments later. Lucky for Dallas, up until this point, the Celtics weren't fully running away with the game. But in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter, Boston began to connect on their shots. First with a mismatch on Maxi Kleber, Jaylen Brown knocks down the mid-range jumper. Then on the drive, JB finds Tillman in the corner, who makes his first three-point attempt of the playoffs. Dallas would then get 2 buckets from Kyrie and Washington, but Boston kept their foot on the gas and extended a lead all the way out to 21 points at the start of the fourth quarter, headlined by this nasty slam from Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown with the flush! A savage slam from Brown 5 seconds to go in the third.
Down 21 with 11 to play, the Mavs made a Cinderella run to get back into this game. Over an 8-minute period, the Mavericks kept the Celtics to just 2 points with a championship on the line. First, they forced Pritchard into 2 misses, first because of the defense of Irving, and second because of PJ Washington. Then Kyrie locks up JT, forcing him into a tough fall-away jumper, which he misses. Then Lively with the contest forces Tatum into a miss, and then Brown comes up short on a 27-foot step-back 3 over Luka. Dallas had found lightning in a bottle, as here double-teamed on the baseline, Doncic still finds Josh Green wide open for 3. PJ Washington made shots as well, as here he sticks a corner 3 over the contest of Al Horford. However, once the Mavs cut it down to 3, they could not find that last bucket, missing 3 straight field goals, while Luka also fouled out in that time, allowing the Celtics to regroup and close out the game on a 13-6 run to take a dominant 3-0 lead. This Celtics team just seems to have what it takes, as when the going gets tough, the Celtics just find ways to win ball games. And with history on the Celtics side, is this series over? Let me know in the comments below.